You're a public defender in Gotham. The assignment lands on your desk like a dead bird. State of New Jersey versus John Doe. The name is a legal fiction. Everyone knows who he is. The file comes in a box. Not a filing box. A literal cardboard moving box. The kind you'd pack dishes in when you're leaving your ex. You open it. The charges start on page 1 and continue for 63 pages. Single-spaced. First-degree murder, aggravated assault, terrorism, municipal property destruction, and, you read this twice, weaponized comedy. There's a subsection. Aggravated clownery. 47 murders via novelty item. The evidence log is attached. Rubber chicken bomb. Exploding cake. Joy buzzer modified to generate 50,000 volts. Acid squirting flour that melted through a bulletproof vest. A cream pie X-rayed to show razor blades baked inside. Someone died from that pie. You're a professional. You've defended murderers before. This is just another case. Your first meeting with your client is at Arkham. The guard walks you through 6 security checkpoints. They make you leave your briefcase, your pen, your watch, your belt. One guard mentions Harvey Dent. You ask why. He doesn't answer. Just looks at you like you're already dead. The consultation room has reinforced glass. You sit down. They bring him in. Purple suit, green hair, smile that doesn't move when he talks. He sits across from you, leans forward. You look nervous. First time. You tell him you're his attorney. I know. I requested you specifically. You didn't know defendants could do that. You're almost certain they can't. Standard client intake. A name for the record. He gives you 7. Different every time you ask. One is Mr. J. Gatsby. Another is the defendant formerly known as Sane. You write down John Doe. Emergency contact? He holds up his answer. Batsy, you ask about his background, where he's from. He tells you 3 origin stories in 10 minutes. Chemical plant, abusive childhood, and a dead wife. A bet with the universe. You're pretty sure none are true. You're absolutely certain he believes all of them. You try to discuss the charges. He interrupts. Have you considered an insanity defense? You tell him that's the plan. He nods, then launches into a 15-minute breakdown of Gotham's appeals process, citing precedents from 1987, explaining procedural nuances you barely remember from law school. His analysis is perfect, lucid, brilliant. And then he makes a balloon animal out of a latex glove. It's a giraffe. He names it Harvey. The guard tells you time's up. Your client waves. This is going to be fun. Back at the office, you build the case. The DA's evidence cards get delivered. 4 of them. One item labeled Ferris wheel incident. Do not open in courtroom. You don't ask. You review the murder weapons. Chattering teeth toy modified with explosives. Killed 3 people at a charity gala. Autopsy photos show what happens when novelty items become actual weapons. Prosecutorial note attached. Defendant was laughing during the incident. 17 witnesses confirm. You need expert witnesses. The Arkham staff look at you with pity. One doctor shows you Joker's file. Thicker than a 1995 phone book. Previous diagnoses include, the doctor flips pages. Did all of them, every mental illness in the DSM, including ones that contradict each other, both catatonic and manic, sometimes in the same evaluation. You ask if he's insane. The doctor laughs, not a happy sound. Define insane. He knows right from wrong. He just doesn't care. Is that insanity? Your job to argue it. Mine to stay employed. Another psychiatrist pulls you aside. Mentions Harvey Dent, how he started in the DA's office. Good lawyer, righteous. Took on a case like this. You know how that story ends. You've seen the photos? Trial prep gets worse. Joker sends you notes from lockup. Cards. Why so serious? In different handwriting styles. Crayon. Calligraphy. Ransom note letters cut from magazines. One card has an actual legal precedent. You a 1923 case that would genuinely help establish reasonable doubt based on contradictory witness testimony. He tells you not to use it in the note. Too boring. I prefer the chaos. You discover a box in storage at your office, labeled Previous Joker Defense Attorneys, full of stress balls, prescription bottles, one resignation letter that just says, I can't, 17 times. He's been through 12 public defenders in 5 years. You're number 13. You check the conviction rate. 100%. Every trial ends guilty. Every sentence ends at Arkham. Every stay at Arkham ends in 6 months. The cycle is perfect. Your witness list is short. Most witnesses are dead. The survivors are too traumatized to testify or moved to different states. You can't subpoena Batman because no one knows his legal name. And the legal system has a Batman-shaped hole in it, and everyone pretends it's normal. The prosecution's lead attorney stops by your office, brings you a stress ball, antacids, a backup tie. She doesn't say anything, just nods like a soldier acknowledging another soldier before a suicide mission. Trial starts Monday. The courtroom is packed. Your client arrives in a purple suit, tailored, looks delighted, waves at the gallery like opening night. There's press. So much press. You stand for your opening statement. Your Honor, the defense will show. Objection! Your client stands. The judge stares. Your client isn't supposed to object during your own opening statement. He does anyway. Your Honor, I think my lawyer should be wearing a silly string wig. Really set the tone. The judge threatens contempt. You're not sure if she means you or him. You continue. Establish that your client suffers from severe mental illness, cannot distinguish right from wrong, meets all criteria for lies, your client announces. Your Honor, I knew exactly what I was doing, every single time. The exploding cake? Calculated. The Ferris wheel? Precision engineering. I'm perfectly sane and I resent the implication otherwise. He just argued against his own defense. The prosecution looks confused. They were expecting the insanity plea. Everyone expects the insanity plea. He's done it 17 times before. The judge asks if your client understands he's undermining his own case. Completely. I'm choosing chaos over legal strategy, as is my right as an American. The evidence presentation takes 4 hours. The DA reads the charges, all of them, in count by count. The gallery goes quiet around charge 30. There are over 200. Each murder weapon gets entered into evidence. The bailiff wheels in cart after cart, razor-edged playing cards, a cigarette lighter that's actually a flamethrower, the joy buzzer, the pie, an umbrella gun, a deck of exploding poker chips. The list doesn't end. By hour 3, the jury looks numb. You call your expert witness, the Arkham psychiatrist. She testifies that your client is clearly, obviously, legally insane. Your client stands, asks to cross-examine. The judge allows it because Gotham's legal system stopped making sense in 1987. He dismantles her testimony with actual medical knowledge, cites studies, references diagnostic criteria, argues, convincingly, that knowing the consequences of your actions and choosing to do them anyway isn't insanity. It's just being a bad person. He's defending his own sanity to prove he's guilty. The psychiatrist looks at you. You have no idea what to do. Your client just made the prosecution's argument better than they did. He sits down, honks a horn he shouldn't have in the courtroom. The bailiff doesn't even react anymore. Then they call Batman. The entire courtroom shifts. He walks in, cape and all, takes the stand, swears in. The bailiff doesn't ask him to remove the mask. Your client's demeanor changes completely. Sits up, leans forward, suddenly engaged. The prosecution asks Batman about the crimes. He confirms, each one. Methodical, professional. Lists dates, times, casualties. His voice doesn't change. You have no cross-examination. And what are you going to ask? Isn't it true you dress as a bat? You sit down. Your client stands. I have questions. The judge allows it because at this point, why not? Isn't it true, your client says, that you and I have a special relationship? Batman says no. Isn't it true you need me, that I make you better? Batman says no. Isn't it true that without me, you're just a rich man with parent issues beating up the mentally ill? The prosecution objects. The judge sustains. Your client sits down looking genuinely happy. He got what he wanted, Batman's attention. The rest of this is set dressing. You give your closing argument. Try to salvage something. Argue diminished capacity. Childhood trauma. The impossibility of rehabilitation through incarceration alone. Your client starts humming. The judge tells him to stop. He switches to quietly beatboxing. The judge threatens to gag him. He stops, but only because he's laughing too hard. The jury deliberates for 40 minutes. Guilty. All counts. Your client applauds. The judge sentences him to Arkham. Mandatory psychiatric hold pending evaluation for criminal responsibility. Before they take him away, your client leans over. Thank you, he says. Sounds sincere. This was a wonderful show. Same time next year? You tell him there won't be a next year. 6 months, he says. I'll see you in 6 months. Everyone in the courtroom knows he's right. Arkham's revolving door spins faster than the evidence carts. The guards take him away. He waves at Batman in the gallery. Batman doesn't wave back, just stands, leaves. The cape disappears around the doorframe like smoke. Did the other public defenders buy you a drink that night? One mentions Harvey Dent again, how he started like this, thought he could fix the system from inside, thought law and order meant something in Gotham. You ask what happened to him, they show you a photo, half the face is normal, the other half isn't. Acid in the courtroom, someone says, different case, same city. You go back to the office the next morning, there's already another hearing scheduled, an appeal for the Riddler, question marks everywhere on the file, literally. He writes them on everything, you're still in Gotham, this is just your job now. The box of stress balls from previous Joker attorneys is still in storage. You take one, it's shaped like a gavel, seems appropriate.